Hi everyone, this is NUSensei. Today we're taking a look at what is perhaps my favorite bow in my collection. This is undeniably one of the best traditional bows in the market today. It has been for quite a while. A very luxurious by the Bear Takedown. Now, this is easily a $1,000 plus bow. Now, in fact, there are many versions of this bow. There's entire Facebook group dedicated to owners of the Bear Takedown. Now, fortunately, mine is a second-hand used bow, which I bought from some guy off the internet. But the bow itself is absolutely amazing. I had the chance to see this bow very early on in my archery career. Somebody did bring this bow to the club to show us, and when I saw this being sold, I just had to buy it. And this, frankly, before I even go into any detail, I said to myself, if I ever were to buy a traditional bow, it would be this. And when the chance came, that's exactly what I did. So let's take a closer look at the Bear Takedown. Now, this particular version is the grey maple version, as you can probably see. There are many versions. The ones being sold right now include the grey maple and bubinga wood colours. So you might have a two-tone grey brown or an all brown. There's a special edition, limited edition one right now, which is a really nice stained glazed brown wood, kind of which one it was. And there are many different variants across the years. So you may find that your particular Bear Takedown won't look like this, but it will have the same red stripe design. So the wood color will be different, but this particular appearance is mostly the same across most of the models. So let's take a closer look. The first thing I noticed when I first held the riser was just the outstanding finish of the wood. The natural wood grains are allowed to shine through, and the polish is amazing. The red and gold wood inlay is, of course, an outstanding feature. It just looks so consistent and well done. The front and back of the riser have a black color with the red accent around it, and this goes for both sides. And again, it just adds such a nice contrasting tone to the riser. It is very pleasing to look at, even more amazing to hold in your hand. And I believe everyone who's held one of these bows would agree with me. It's like a dream to hold this. It's a really amazing design, and of course, as I said before, the specific look of your bow would depend on which wood is being used in your model, but all the Bear Takedowns really scream out traditional luxury bow. The bow grip is very smooth. One thing which I note with the lower cost risers is that sometimes the grip may have some bumpy edges and there might be an annoying feeling in some locations, but the Bear Takedown has absolutely none of that. The grip is very well contoured. Again, the polish is exceptional. You can see the shine in the camera right now. That is a very, very polished grip. It fits perfectly in the hand. Now, I don't have big hands, but this is just right for me. You can see the pistol-shaped grip only has a small bulge here, so it doesn't get too obtrusive when you're holding it. It rests nicely in the hand, an excellent feel, and the riser is very well balanced. It doesn't feel overly heavy like a metal riser, but it doesn't feel too light and flimsy like many low-cost wood risers. And I think this one is, again, a very fine balancing point in its design. And here we have the limbs. You have a very nice redwood limb tip. The body of the limb is black. I know many people like having a black limb. And we have the natural brown wood grains retained very nicely. Again, very well polished. It's a fantastic finish for the limbs. There's no branding except for the Fredbear logo on the back. The total size of the bow depends on which riser you get, the A or the B. This particular limb is 50 pounds for a 56-inch bow or 48 pounds for the 60-inch bow. Now what makes the bear takedown stand out and what gives it its name is the takedown system. For those watching today, takedown bows are fairly normal. That's almost the standard in bows today, both modern and traditional. But the threadbare takedown was quite unique for its time. Instead of the standard IOF bolts, which you just jam in, it uses a latch system. So by releasing the latch, you can open up the pocket like this and slide the limb in. To attach the limb, you slide the limb through the open latch here. It slides along the railing inside and it should lock in there. You then close the latch and it clicks in like that. And same thing for the other side. Open the latch, take the limb, slide it through the opening, push it in, and then close the latch. It doesn't really need to be said that the latches are extremely tight. So this thing won't move, the connection is very secure. It won't release unless you manually release it. So as far as an attachment point goes, it's a very safe attachment. And with the black metal look, it honestly, in my opinion, doesn't look that out of place. A lot of the current IOF limb bolts look very modern with the silver chrome, even the black metal look kind of too modern for some people. I find that this doesn't look out of place on a traditional bow, and I don't think most people will notice. But as far as the system works, it works. I should point out that the leather you see on the latch is not standard. This has been added to provide more padding and dampening to silence the bow even further. And here we have the bow fully strung. As I said before, this is an amazing bow. It's not too fancy, not too modern. It is quite simply a top-of-the-line traditional bow design. If you see my other videos, you've probably seen me shoot this bow quite a few times, but we'll do it again just for this video. Of course, this is nothing but pure, unalterated, traditional bear bow shooting. No bells or whistles, just the good stuff. I haven't said anything during the shooting, and that's because the bow is just so nice to use. You just want to just keep on using it. It's smooth on the draw. It's a soft bow. It doesn't give a lot of vibration. If anything, it's noticeable. It is a really, really nice bow to shoot. I've described it as like shooting with a cloud. Despite the relatively decent draw weight, it doesn't feel like you're shooting a super heavy bow, and it punches the arrows out really nicely. It just it feels good in the hand. You don't feel hand shock. The bow is a reasonable weight. Everything is within what you would think of an ideal bow to be. This is what you imagine shooting a traditional bow to be like, and it definitely ticks all the boxes of a good bow. And of course, with all the string silencers and the leather padding, you know, it feels quieter than usual. Of course, that's to be expected. But yeah, this is a marvelous bow. Definitely, you know, you feel like you're shooting a luxury bow, not the modern sports cars, but a nice vintage, you know, model. There's definitely a lot to like about this bow. And of course, it comes with the price tag to match. Let's do one more this distance. That wasn't bad, but I could do better. Oh, that sounded painful. That's better. I'm just doing the same thing over and over again, but I'm just paying more attention, well, less attention, I guess, to the target. It's following process. Just gonna look at the target and just hone it in. I'm shooting instinctively, not really using an aim point. I'm gonna feel for what it should be at this distance. It's a little loose, I think. Drop low. And instinctive doesn't mean you go sloppy in your technique, but you go with a certain rhythm. You learn to trust yourself. When it feels good, you let it go. I mean, I could hold for longer, sure, and make more of an exaggerated motion. But if everything's hitting the same spot each time, then clearly something is working. At the very least, the bow's doing its job. Yeah, that pretty much passes the shoot in the general direction test. I think my overall thoughts are going to be fairly obvious. This is a magnificent bow. How good is good, really? If someone asked me the question, what would my dream bow be? This would be one of the dream bows. Again, the price tag is very high, but the quality of the bow, the manufacturing, the finish, the craftsmanship is amazing. The way it handles, phenomenal. Definitely one of the top bows you can get. Of course, like I said before, it does carry a steep price tag. If you're looking for a basic bow to start off, then this might not be in your ballpark. But if you want something that is like, I guess, the vintage classic bow that performs well as a traditional bow, then the Bear Takedown is definitely a good bow. Everyone I've lent this bow to has absolutely loved it. Everyone who's seen and held it absolutely loves it. It is really a bow which carries very, very few imperfections. Looks great, feels great, shoots great. If you want that luxury bow, then this is one of the things that might be in your sights. Anyway, I hope you found this interesting. This is NUSensei. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.